My mic's not working. They can't hear. By the way, they've never said they could hear me.
That's not true.
No one's ever said they could hear me.
That's not.
I gotta
true.
log.
Not true.
I gotta log out, log back in.
No, there's certain endings you need to.
The social injustices that were going on. So I think that as Smith & Wesson, if we're just looking at this objectively, could potentially see a move up because of those reasons. Jesus. Good to be back. What's up, everybody? It's Tuesday, November 3rd. It's election day. Welcome to Own the Chaos. The stock market is crazy and chaotic. No more evident than it has been over the last, God knows how long now. At this point, it feels like. So we have made it our point to help you own it. If you guys are visiting for the first time, welcome. Hopefully we earn a subscription and a like from you. We are simulcasting on YouTube and Twitch. So if you're a Twitcher, go on over, follow us at Own the Chaos. It is twitch.tv/Own the Chaos. I see Damar in there also in Twitch, and our Chaos Crew fam. If you guys see the bears and bulls next to their names, that means that they're part of the Chaos Crew. If you guys want to be a part of that and a part of the conversation, make sure you are hitting that join button. We'd love to have you guys hang out. What's up, Fat Man Zoom?
I don't believe they can hear me. Can't hear me.
Well, your mic sucks.
Does it?
Yeah.
I told you. My mic's not working. Hold
on. Well, while he's getting that together, what's up, guys? Yeah, it is election day.
Get together. It's done. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it's not great.
I don't know what happened to my mic.
Oh, that sounds better.
We had mic issues today.
I know.
We'll figure them out later. Yeah, I know, Primo. You can hear me now. Said before. Well, yes, G-A, he did have a typo in the beginning, but it's a better typo in the title than Erection Day.
Yeah, I do have a typo in there. Let me fix that. But yeah, so it is election day. You know, I hope you guys went out and voted. I went out and voted. This kind of like I'm a little like, I don't know, bro. I'm like flustered. Like I don't have my shit together because usually I got plenty of time. Today did not have that because the polling place was god awful. I was waiting in line forever to vote. It was crazy. Usually I never wait in line ever, and today it was wild.
I mean, if you would have looked anywhere on social media over the past 3 days, last 3 business days, you would have seen that the polls were packed. So
yeah, it's crazy.
Shame on you for not being an early voter.
Whatever. I'm the worst procrastinator there is. So nothing should surprise you anymore at this point.
I voted last week, 15 minutes, in and out.
Yeah, yep, definitely should have done that. Hindsight's 20/20, but it is what it is. So, nevertheless, the stock market seems to think that we are going to have a definitive president by the end of the day. That seems to be the consensus around the hedge funds and institutions and stuff like that. And we'll get into that. We'll talk about what our thoughts are as far as that's concerned. What maybe you should be prepared for as far as that's concerned as well. But before we get into that, it's November 3rd, and we have yet to have gotten to our top stocks that we are watching for this month in November, Fat Man Zoom, and we got to get on that.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, people. So this is for anybody who's watching live. We're not as prepared as we'd like to be.
Today was just a crazy ass day. It's crazy.
We feel good about these stocks.
Yes,
but we normally would have a little bit more data. So I don't know if any month you maybe not go with the 10, maybe not this month, but don't tell anybody else who watches the video.
Yeah. So, but anyways, I mean, look, we're pretty good at it. I mean, listen,
we were 9 out of 10 last month.
We were 9 out of 10 last month, and we knocked it out of the park. So chances are we're going to knock it out of the park again. So just take that into consideration. All right. 10 stocks that we're watching for the month of November. I'll go first. Mine is going to be, let's just get it out of the way. It's Tesla. Okay. There's nothing else to go to talk about other than the fact it's just Tesla being Tesla. And we've talked about in the Biden video, we talked about the top 5 stocks to buy if Biden wins. One of them was Tesla. And a lot of that just kind of revolved around Biden's, platform that he stands on as far as renewable energy is concerned, as well as electric vehicles. And Tesla falls in both of those categories. So if we do see a Biden win, expect Tesla to go off. I think that we'll see a huge move from them, as well as some of the relationships that Biden has in China, which, we all are aware of, that also bodes well for Tesla. But here's the other half of that story. If Trump wins, it's still a win-win for Tesla. Ease taxes will remain the same for Tesla, which and regulations will still be down for big large corporations such as Tesla. So I think it's a win-win for Tesla here. And to be clear, Trump has also said that he's for renewable energy and for EVs, just not as much as Biden. He believes that there's a way or a world in which they both live together and coincide together. So there's definitely sides to both coins of this. Either way, Tesla wins. It doesn't matter who's president, in my opinion. I like Tesla. It's gotten beaten down to the low 400s, and it's looking great today. If we go and look at the chart, I'm going to actually pull this up now. If we go and look at the chart, Tesla has been doing really, really well. Let's pull this up. It was down as low as 385. If you guys recall, last week I said 385 was going to be a good spot to potentially grab Tesla. If we look at this and see the formation here, we're still trending in the right direction. We're looking at higher lows on the daily chart. Tesla is looking fantastic today. It's up to $421. It was up as high as 426, I believe I saw. So this looks great. I like Tesla a lot. I love it moving forward. I love it moving into the end of the year, and definitely would be a top stock for me to watch going into November.
Great stock. Listen, November, here's what we're going to hear. Cybertruck news coming in November.
Yeah.
So expect to hear some news about definitive release dates on the orders for the Cybertruck. And I don't know if it's going to come in November and December, but if the news about the semis come in November, which I talked to you guys about a definitive date on when those deliveries are going to happen, watch out. So Cybertruck, I believe that there's going to be news in November about that. I think that's going to be really positive news, and no reason to even sell it beyond November. There's going to be a point really soon where you're going to wish you got it at these levels. Below 400 came yesterday. It could come again this week, but I don't think it stays there for long. So good call on Tesla. Number two, I have PayPal. PayPal reported earnings yesterday. They traded lower, but then they gained some of that back today. I think they're still down a little bit. You can run through that. But here's what I like about PayPal. You're a fan of Square. We'll take either one of those.
Yep.
But PayPal has their PayPal credit, which looks promising, their credit card. They just added Bitcoin, which is awesome. Good news. And they also have a lot of promise surrounding Venmo. So Venmo is through PayPal. Cash App is owned by Square. So actually, it's looking like the Venmo sort of sentiment is a lot stronger. So you and I talked about this offline, but they had done a study where they took Venmo users who adopted Cash App, and there was a higher return back to Venmo, whereas Cash App users who adopted Venmo stayed in Venmo with a higher rate. So again, I think either one's fine, but thinking about the stay at home, Square and PayPal benefited off of that movement. They stand to continue to benefit, and they're not going anywhere. I love PayPal, and I'm hoping that 200 is coming upon us soon.
Yeah, I mean, I like this a lot as well. And I mean, look, I don't think we've said enough good things about PayPal. Oh, and I don't think we can say enough good things about PayPal. And we've already kind of talked about this potentially coming back down to the support around 171. It just barely got down there. It actually touched 174. That might be as low as we see it. And also it's going to have to depend obviously a lot on the rest of the market, how everybody's going to react after today. I think one of the big challenges, and we'll get into this in a little bit, but just kind of talking about the overall market and how this might react. This could still be a potential area that I would consider buying a PayPal as well. I mean, and PayPal sitting at 182, still cheap in my opinion. I think it belongs right back up over $200 a share leading into the end of the year. Look, frictionless transactions are not going to be just a coronavirus thing. It's going to be the way that people spend money. It's going to be the way that people transact in the future. So frictionless transactions, PayPal's leading the way, and we'll just get Square out of the way too. Square's having a hell of a day. It's up almost 2%. We both like this one too. So PayPal, Square, it's 1A and 1B. Square has earnings later on in the week on Thursday after hours. We think they're probably going to crush those earnings as well. I think PayPal's a precursor to what Square's about to do. So we like them both a lot. PayPal definitely one to keep on the list. For me, next one I have is another one that had earnings today, and they absolutely annihilated, obliterated. It was Wayfair. We had it on Stockwatch Sunday. I said they were going to come in with earnings at 385. That was my bold ass prediction. You got to have them every once in a while, right? They didn't come quite at 385, but they did come in and beat earnings pretty handily at $2.30 per share. Wayfair is, look, this kind of goes to what we were talking about as far as a Biden win's concerned. I think they do well regardless of who's president. You have Biden, who's looking to add more subsidized funds towards housing. You have the other side of that coin with Trump, where, with, again, eased tax plans and stuff like that, as well as you have record low interest rates. You have the real estate market going absolutely crazy. You got people that will either be decorating their homes to stage them to sell, or you're going to have people who buy a new home and they're going to need to decorate. Wayfair is definitely going to be that. Or hell, I mean, there's still people that have just been home and maybe they just needed to do a remodel, or they wanted to do something else with their home, and Wayfair has been at the forefront of that, and that has been evident. Quarter three was absolutely incredible for them. They had upbeat outlook for quarter four. I think they absolutely crush it again in quarter four, and Wayfair I think is going to be one to hold. They had a sell-off because they said that there was a little bit of slowing as far as buying was concerned towards the end of the quarter. This is pretty typical, though, when we look at this from a macro level. From real estate tends to slow down in the winter months. Wayfair is probably not going to be outlier as far as that's concerned. They're probably not going to be immune to that either, but I think Wayfair also has the advantage of just being able to decorate the inside of their home. So I think they're still going to do well. I like Wayfair moving forward, not just for November, but maybe even into 2021, well into 2021. I think that the sell-off was premature. We actually ended up grabbing this in the chaos, or in our mentorship. And so I think this is definitely an easy one to grab. I think it goes right back up over 300 in no time. Shouldn't even be a problem for Wayfair. Love it a lot.
Yeah, this is a great pick. The one thing I'll say about Wayfair and their earnings, and to give it context, the estimate per share was 80 cents. So when they blew it out, they blew it out.
Right.
So those were great. The guidance was great. We always look for guidance. One thing that stood out about their earnings, which was surprising to me, I'm not sure if it was surprising to you, but like their international growth. I didn't realize the opportunity they had, or the presence they had internationally.
Oh,
so
yeah.
they were up 66% year over year domestically, and they do about, I think, maybe it's $2 billion a year, but $2 billion in the quarter for that. But they did 67% growth year over year in international markets, which accounted to about 255 million. So that growth is awesome. And then you see the opportunity if they only did 255 million. And I want to get this exact number so I say it correctly. US domestic was 1.3 billion. They were up 66.5%. That's the opportunity. Can we get the international to $500 million or $1 billion? So growth there, I think that's what excited me most. Much like a stock we'll talk about later, is the international opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, we love Wayfair a lot, and you can't say enough about it. I mean, and just really anything that has to relate to the real estate industry, particularly to residential. I mean, commercial real estate is still in the shitter, really. So I don't know how they come back, but residential real estate is booming. I think it continues to boom going into 2021. Wayfair is going to be a direct benefactor of that. And pick some of your other favorite ones. This is going to be a great sector to continue to be in, even though it's moved up this much. I think we still got room to go. There's hasn't been a ceiling yet for these. What you got next?
Number 4. Sorry, I thought
I was going to toss it up to you. What you got?
Number 4 is the one we did miss, but I'm bringing it back. I'm doubling down. Penn National.
Yeah.
Number 4 is Penn National. Ask me why, Brad.
Why?
Because it's a monster. All right, here's a few reasons. We love Penn National. I'm not worried about the level it's at. I think this is an opportunity. Penn National has Barstool Bets. We bang the drum on Barstool Bets. This stock is going to live and die by Barstool Bets. They have opened in September. They opened in Pennsylvania. And by every metric, every conceivable metric, they exceeded expectations. So awesome, promising. This month, expect to hear about the next market they're going to open in, which is Michigan. The only thing we're waiting on is for regulation approval. So like they're literally waiting on the state. Now, here's what's great. Michigan, everybody starts in the same spot.
Right.
So whereas Pennsylvania, there was already market share taken away, everybody starts the same starting line. And Dave Portnoy's talked about this. Let's see how they do compared to their competitors. And I think it basically shows what we already know, that Penn is head and shoulders better than any of the other competitors in the online gaming space. So I'm excited about that. I believe that the news comes November. Barstool Bets will be launched in Michigan before the end of the year. And then next year, they have 10 additional markets that will be opened up for 2021. So you better believe our 21 list has Penn on it. So I'm excited about that. Lastly, what I'll say is there was some states had regulation about gambling and gaming, sports betting. Louisiana was one of those states that voted yesterday, and I'm sorry, that votes today on that. And so we should hear about that. I think that's going to go through. That benefits properties in the state, and Penn National has 5 properties in Louisiana. If any of the other states approve legislation as well, that bodes well for the Barstool Bets brand. And helps them with revenue. So I love Penn. I know you love Penn as well.
Yeah, I mean, today's going to be a great day for Penn, I think, because I think we do see some legalization, expanded legalization in other states as well. Maryland actually is one of them that was on the ballot. So Maryland already has legalized gambling. I think this just expanded upon it for sports betting and where it gets spent and stuff like that, but it still matters. And so I think that Penn National is poised to just continue to grow here. And we can't overstate the impact that Barstool will have on this company. If you guys are not a stoolie, just go talk to somebody who is, and they'll be able to tell you just what kind of cult following that Barstool actually has. They will throw money at this company and won't even think about it. So I think Penn National is still poised to just do really well. And obviously it's had a downturn. Look, most of the market did towards the end of October. Penn just wasn't immune to that. We saw a lot of people that were asking about Penn National and Rocket and some of the other ones we were talking about last month, and it's like it did well, and then the rest of the market came down. So we think that depending on what happens as far as the election is concerned, this is just another one where it just does not matter who wins. And I think that this is just going to be the running theme of this entire list, is that these are all going to move regardless of what happens. And Penn National is definitely at the forefront here too. Looking at this, it's sitting at 55.15. This is an absolute steal. I actually still have this with an average of 67. So obviously I'm down a little bit, but I have no reason to sell this. I think that we're going to be just fine. I have huge convictions for Penn National, and which leads me to the next one, which is Rocket. Indeed, Rocket's having a hell of a day today, and they have earnings on the 10th of this month, and we think that they are going to blow the socks off of the earnings. We think that all of the analysts, all the suits got this absolutely wrong, and that Rocket themselves were probably a little bit too conservative as far as their outlook on the last quarterly report, and that's kind of what's been causing Rocket to be a little bit rocky here and there. I feel like I said Rocket and Rocky. I don't know. I like Rocket a lot. I think with the housing boom, people aren't looking to go to directly a bank to actually get approved for the mortgages. And if you guys are out there, let us know in the comments. If you bought a new house, did you actually use Rocket and obviously Quicken Loans, all the other ones are under that umbrella. So did you use them to help you buy a new home? And if you did, leave some comments below. But I've been hearing it all over the place. This is the easiest way to finance a mortgage. And so I think that Rocket is going to definitely blow the socks off of everybody. And this has a great outlook for 2021 leading into next year. But with earnings coming out, I think we see a really nice bump. It's already up to 19.25. Right now, it's up around 1.5%. Look for $24 to be that area that we need to see this blast up over. It has constantly battled with $24, and it really needs to move up over $24 before we see a nice continuation of this thing. But you guys know that we love Rocket. We've been talking about it for months now, and it's only a matter of time before this thing lifts off, pun intended.
Yeah, I promised myself I wouldn't say the R word today. I didn't want to jinx it. It's looking good. Watch any previous video. We love it. The community loves it. Coming in at number 6, Teladoc. I wanted to put a healthcare company on here. I felt like it was important to put a healthcare company on here. No matter who wins, one of the first priorities is going to be healthcare. Teladoc is positioned perfectly to take advantage of that. It's virtual. All the things you want as far as the company is concerned, I think Teladoc has. Here's the caveat. They underperformed for earnings. So that's something that makes it, that gave me a little bit of pause, but I still feel strong about that. They have the Livongo merger coming up, which a couple days ago on the shareholder meeting they voted on. Expect that merger to go through. I think that this was just the missed earnings was a blip on the radar. I love Teladoc. I think that this is going to be a huge beneficiary no matter who is in office.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at Teladoc right now, it's sitting at 194.29, and it got really kind of beat down after earnings came out, and I think this is still just another really good opportunity. I don't like to use the phrase the new normal, but I think I think we're kidding ourselves if we say that things won't be forever changed as a result of the Rona. And I think that telehealth and telemedicine are going to be at the forefront of that kind of change as far as healthcare is concerned. Teladoc is going to continue to do really well. So if you're looking for good opportunities with earnings with the reaction that it came down after earnings, which that seems to just be the running theme as far as earnings are concerned this season, I think that this is going to be a really good opportunity to grab some in the 180s if you somehow find the chance to get there. But even if you can get this under $200, still think it's a great value. Right now, sitting at 194.21. It's up 2% today, and we love it a lot. The next one, I think it probably won't come as anybody's surprise. It's going to be Apple, and Apple has just had really good earnings that came out last week. I think the reaction was a little bit excessive along with everything else that we were talking about. Their numbers were good. And I think that one thing that I just keep going back to was that the reason that it sold off after earnings was because of iPhone sales, and Fat Man Zoom has a rebuttal for that. But I think that really the biggest reason why people were holding out for iPhone sales, and maybe Apple themselves underestimated this, was because they were holding out for the 12. I think that the 12 is going to actually be a huge factor for Apple moving forward. We might even see some preliminary numbers as far as the iPhone 12 is concerned in November. And it's still cheap. I mean, it's been holding up above 108, which has kind of been its support up until this point, sitting at 110 right now. I like Apple, and we always say that Apple is a buy and hold and not really trade. Just kind of hold it forever and retire on it. You'll be all right. But 110 seems to be a really good spot to grab some here as far as Apple's concerned. I like this going into the end of the month. I like it going into the end of the year. Hold it, buy it, thank me later. Fat Man Zoom, what you got about Apple?
Yeah, Apple's got a lot of tailwinds, I think. And so the event on the 10th where they're going to announce the new MacBook should be exciting. But they've announced the watch. They've announced the phones. They have so much in the pipeline. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
Not to mention, one of the keys with Apple is their increased margin. So in 2021, I fully expect to see an increase in their margins because they're moving towards more cloud services, which is a smart play for them. And as you think about products with diminishing returns, hardware, they've been really good about sort of diversifying in their products. Apple Plus is a big thing. I think they just announced they're going to release Apple TV is going to be available on Sony and Xbox. So increased exposure. I love Apple. Excited to see where that goes. Number 8, Zoom. Zoom. So Zoom has been beaten down lately.
Yeah.
And even today, things are running up. Zoom has not been running up. Zoom still has downside. So let me sort of make that disclaimer. If you're thinking about entering into Zoom, don't feel like you're going to miss the boat on this. It's got potentially a 5 to 10% downside, but I think it has about a 25% upside. Zoom reports earnings on November 30th. So that's like my play. They crushed last earnings. I don't expect to see the same move post earnings because I think everybody's going to be expecting a monster quarter. But they had 355% growth last quarter, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
They just annihilated. Again, I alluded to international growth. This stock, look at the international growth. Listen for healthcare, education. Those are untapped markets that they're just getting into. And so healthcare and education are going to be huge for them. In addition to, it looks like there's probably going to be an impending lockdown. That bodes well for Zoom once it settles down. But I like it. I don't understand why it keeps coming down, but this makes a perfect stock for November, given that at the end of the month, there should be a run up into earnings.
Look, I mean, as far as the price action is concerned, I know that it could be a lot of confusion, but this is typical Zoom. If we look back here, and I had to come to the 4-hour chart because the daily chart just didn't really do it justice. I felt like you could paint a better picture here as far as Zoom's concerned. I still like it. It's still bullish on Zoom for all the reasons that Fat Man Zoom said. But if you look at where this came from, even when you go back to their last quarter earnings, and it ran from the low 200s, the high 200s from around 290 all the way up to 480 and had a strong correction all the way down back again to 343. So that was a huge move back down. It was almost at $500 a share, comes down $150 to 345. And I think that is pretty typical of what we've seen of Zoom. It had a monster run for the rest of the quarter all the way up to almost $600 a share, and now it's starting to correct itself again. I think there's definitely a case that could be made that 430, 440 is going to be a area that we could potentially see it bottom, but we really got to see some sort of trend reversal. Right now, it's still doing nothing but coming straight down on a 4-hour chart and has yet to have really established itself as a strong support, but I'm starting to like that 440 area. I still think that Zoom's going to do well. I like this going into the future. To some of the points that you've made on Zoom, Fat Man, I really like this one too. This might be a good opportunity to get into Zoom. If you can get it under 450, I think you're going to be in good shape as far as that's concerned. Next, might be something that you guys maybe didn't really consider, and we've been talking about some pretty high price stocks, right? One that's not so high priced is Under Armour, and we've talked about this previously on Stock Watch Sunday. This is the first time this is going to be a top stock to watch for the entire month, and a lot of this has to do with just Under Armour's revamped. I feel like they've revived themselves. They've cut costs here and there. They're getting rid of MyFitnessPal, which was just just a money pit for them. So they're freeing up some cash. They're able to continue to grow, and the thing of it is, we've been watching Nike go crazy. It's up about 30%. No, I'm sorry. It's up 22%. Nike is on the year. And Under Armour is still down 30% for the year. So I think that there's still a lot of upside as far as Under Armour is concerned. Not to mention, it's a local favorite around here in Maryland. And if you guys use their products, they have really great athletic wear as well, and they're also getting into some other things. They've cut back costs as far as marketing's concerned on some things that just didn't make sense, but now they're starting to work their way into areas that might help the company a little bit more. And we really like the way that they've kind of revamped their culture, the way they've revamped the direction that they're going. We love businesses that can figure out and learn to pivot, and Under Armour is a textbook example of that, and they're doing it right before our eyes as a result of the COVID. But we like this. I like this sitting here at $13. I would have loved to have grabbed it down here. I actually missed it, but if for some reason we see some sort of pullback over the coming days, I think that even if you can somehow grab this under $13 a share, it's a steal. If we go back and look at this on the daily chart, this has plenty of room to run all the way up to as high as $20 a share, where it was before the Rona happened. And just to kind of reiterate, Nike is up much higher than it was before the crash. It's up 22% before the crash. Under Armour still down 30% from there. So there's plenty of upside here still, even though it's been continuing to make a really nice move over the last quarter.
Yeah, I was excited when you sort of put this on the forefront again about a month ago. And I agree with you. Under Armour, Under Armour made the mistake of trying to go head on with Nike, and they didn't need to. They can. There's enough market share for them to be able to survive together and just carve out whatever your niche is going to be. And I believe they're going to really focus on lifestyle and also rural. I think there's going to be a movement towards rural and try to capitalize on the places where like maybe Nike isn't per se.
Yeah.
So there is huge upside. Their last earnings was great. Return to profitability. Hope to see that continue and the trend continue. Looking for online growth. All these things we're looking for as we move forward to see how they're adjusting. But if they can capitalize along with the long-term growth, online growth, that'll be great. So excited to hear about Under Armour and see that continue to grow and hopefully get back to like 2010 levels of like $45 a share.
That would be sick.
So,
that'd be awesome.
Excited about Under Armour. Stock number 10, Alphabet. Listen, talk about not getting love. FANG stock not getting love. Alphabet has not gotten love. And we brought that up. We brought it to the table. We've been playing it since it was below 1,500. And we said it's been lagging behind the other FANG. They crushed earnings. That was awesome. I want to pull a couple of things out of earnings that I think are important for us to consider. One, I'll get this out of the way. Their Google Cloud had 45% year-over-year growth. We love cloud services. That's awesome. They're so diversified. To me, Alphabet's is, I would say that's a competitor of social media. So like the one knock I'll have on Facebook is they still need to become more diversified. They're starting, but they're not even close to what Alphabet is. So I love their diversification from a risk perspective. So that's number one. Getting that out of the way, do you know, Brad, what the number one search engine is?
It's Google.
Do you know what number two is?
It's YouTube.
Who owns YouTube, Brad?
Alphabet.
You're damn right. So I want to talk about the ad revenue, and I want to talk about the platform you guys are watching this on now, YouTube. Their ability to monetize, I would say, is unmatched.
Yeah.
And so for that, I believe that that's going to be the difference for them moving forward. They had year over year growth on YouTube ad revenue of 32%. For a mature part of their business, that's insane. And for context, I want to say that I believe the Google ad revenue growth was like 6%, which is good.
Right.
So I'm getting excited. I'm getting fired up because I love Alphabet. It doesn't get the love it deserves. It's a great company. Financials fundamentals are great. YouTube, the monetization, they haven't even scratched the surface on memberships. And we've experienced that.
Yeah.
Oh, they take their cut. They got their hands in a little bit of everything. And as people understand the monetization opportunities, this YouTube market share, the revenue market share is going to grow bigger and bigger. So I'm excited about Alphabet. That is my stock for this month. Book it.
As if he couldn't have made it clear enough, Google is something that, or Alphabet, something that Fat Man Zoom absolutely loves. Now, looking at this, after all, it is in part of the Fat Man Zoom acronym, but looking at this is actually still hasn't come back up to its 1733 highs from where it crashed when all of tech kind of took a dump on the beginning of September. So it hasn't quite fully recovered from that. But to his point, Google is just going to continue to move here. We love Alphabet and Fat Man Zoom's right. As far as monetization goes on the platform, we think that they're just scratching the surface with some of the other areas of revenue that they've been able to help produce. I mean, look, with our folks in the Chaos Crew, it's been a game changer for our channel, for Own the Chaos. The Chaos Crew and you guys having the ability to become channel members for us has been a absolute game changer. It's what's allowing us to actually move into another studio, which we're going to be doing rather soon. So make sure you guys are hanging around for that and stay tuned for all of that. It'll be coming up before the end of the year, more than likely. And so that none of that would have been able to happen if that extra revenue stream wasn't created as far as that's concerned. So There you have it. It's the top 10 stocks that we have for November. If you guys like this, give us a thumbs up, of course. And if you want to be part of the Chaos Crew, we just mentioned it. Click the join button next to subscribe. We give out a daily watch list, which, by the way, 5 for 5 absolutely crushed today's watch list. And we put out a daily watch list for our Chaos Crew members. We also put out private live streams as well as access to our public portfolio via Webull. If you guys want to check out all that stuff and then continue to help support the channel, hit the join button. It's $4.99 a month. You can't beat it. And that is our top stocks for the month. Thanks so much, guys, for that. And we are going to be getting on to the meat and potatoes of today's stream, which is the election. The stock market right now has obviously been making a huge move. If we go and look at just the overall markets right now, we can see that the Dow is up 2.1%. S&P is up nearly 2% as well as the NASDAQ. Things are going crazy. The general consensus is that investors think that we will have a president. We will know who our president will be by tonight. I can't subscribe to that fully. But that is the consensus, and so that's going to be the basis of our conversation for at least for right now. Is just where do we go from here? The markets are doing really well. The Dow Jones was up 400 plus points yesterday. It's up 500 points today. Like, where do we go from here? And how does this react moving forward? And obviously, we want to hear from you guys as well. But Fat Man Zoom, what are your sentiments as far as what happens tomorrow? What do you think is going to be happening for the rest of the week? Maybe even to the end of the month.
Yeah, let me say what's up to a few people here. Juan, what's going on? Victor Toledo, you are welcome, my friend. Andrew G, Fat Man, he says Fat Man G Zoom, add Google in there. Fat Man includes Alphabet.
Yes.
Alphabet's actually the company, the umbrella company. So no need for the G, but I am a G. But anyways,
He's a big G.
We appreciate you guys tuning in. And if you're on the fence, Brad did you a favor, and he normally is a members only chat, so you guys are getting access here. But what are you waiting for? Join the membership.
Yeah.
You get a bunch of goodies. We do a live Q&A every Friday at 2:00 where we solely answer member questions, private live stream. We do a morning watch list. We send out every morning at 8:30 a.m. 5 stocks that we got an eye on. And then you get access to Brad's portfolio. Listen, worth it. Tell them, crew, it's worth it. So
it is worth it.
Click the join button and come on into the crew. So
we would love to have you. There's by the way, so just to that note, there's 457 folks hanging in here concurrently. And if you don't even want to do that, if you don't want to become part of the crew, fine, fair enough. But pushing the like button costs you nothing. So hang out and so give us a thumbs up. We certainly would appreciate it if you guys want to support us in that regard as well. Also, there's some folks hanging out on Twitch too. Just wanted to shout out Damar. He's got some questions in here too. We'll make sure that we answer those. But we are simulcasting on Twitch. So if you want to be a part of the Twitch crew, you guys can go hang out over there too. Love to have you there. We're going to try to keep growing that thing. There's hardly anybody on Twitch, and there's a lot of people that have been like, man, we need some more stock market nerds over on Twitch. So we're gonna try to help that space out there too. So go be a part of that. Love to have you guys over there.
Hey, and last thing, and I'll answer your question. So I'm gonna give you guys a bonus stock that I almost cut you off and said, but wait, there's more. It's not gonna be for the people for the video, but for the people on the live stream. Baba just missed the list, and I'm gonna tell you why. So Baba's down nearly 9% today because Alipay, ANT Group, which just launched their IPO, was suspended for Shanghai and Hong Kong. Like, largest IPO ever, blah, 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 blah. Alibaba has 33% stake in that. And so it went down as this news came out. First things first, I don't think this is going to last. I think that everything's going to be fine as far as I think the IPO is going to move forward. It's going to go public. So I don't think there's any issues. I don't think. But regardless, Alibaba has reported earnings without any Alipay. So we always talk about these opportunities and material, not material. I don't think it matters what really happens with Alipay over the long term. I think this was an opportunity to get it at a discount. So Baba, maybe not getting yet, just keep an eye on it over the next couple of days. But like we said, if Biden wins, companies based in China have an added benefit. So if that happens, that'll move on. So I just wanted to say that before I get into actually what I think is going to play out. Did you want to say anything on Alibaba?
No, I think Baba's definitely a good play for sure. I didn't get a chance to look at the price. It was down like around 7 or 8%. I didn't know if it come down further than that. I'm just looking at it right now. Yeah, it's still hanging around there. It's around down 8% right now, and it's holding that level pretty good today. So we'll see where this goes. This might actually be a good spot if we can see some consolidation around in the 280s, 285, which is where it's sitting at right now. I like this one too. But yeah, to your point, if we see a Biden win, we might see a really nice pop out of Baba. Absolutely.
So as far as this week's concerned, I agree with you. I don't see how we tomorrow morning know definitively who our president is. I was talking to Don about this. If I think just with lag, I think there's going to be some uncertainty.
Yeah.
But if Biden wins, it sounds like it's going to be potentially a contested election. If Trump wins, I don't think it's going to be contested, but I'm not sure if it's going to be close where they need to factor in all the mail-in votes because those are coming in at record numbers. So
yeah,
I would love if it's decided either way tomorrow, or tonight, but that would be awesome. But I told you last week, I scaled out. I have liquidity. It was great. It was green today. I had some money in the market per your advice. And I'm benefiting off of that. Are my gains as much as they would have been? No, but I'm okay with that because I expect volatility for the rest of the week.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And so it's one of those things where we've talked about this leading all the way up to today, right, folks? That, it definitely makes sense to have some cash on hand, but it also, on the other side of that, I don't know if I would want to be out of the market either. If by some chance we find out that Trump is going to be reelected by tonight, the stock market should explode. And if Biden wins and we find out by tonight, the stock market should explode. If we don't have an answer, it's going to get really rocky, I think. I will say, Batman Zoom, I have my very own state-of-the-art polls rolling on Twitter and on YouTube. Most of you guys on YouTube, I said, all right, pretty plain and simple. If you go to my channel page, you go to community tab, you can vote on there. Or you could go to Twitter @OwnTheChaos. It's very simple. I just said, all right, who's winning? I have Trump. Right now, 201 votes are in at 51% for Trump. 30% are in for Biden. And I couldn't have forgotten about Kanye. So we got 19%. There's your state-of-the-art poll right now as it stands in this show.
19% Kanye?
19% Kanye. So that's as accurate as you can get. You can't get any more accurate than here. I promise you that. So 19% for Kanye. But no, I agree. I think that, we're going to be probably in a state of confusion or uncertainty. I would say maybe even leading to the rest of the week if it is contested. I mean, if we look back down to, if you guys are old enough who are watching, maybe you voted in this election, or maybe you're just old enough to remember it. Kind of like me, I'm just old enough to remember it. When the Al Gore and George Bush election went through, that was contested. There was the Florida hanging chads, right? That was kind of like the big deal back then. We didn't find out who was actually going to be president of the United States definitively until December 14th of that year. So I think that perhaps we'll probably know before then, but you just never know with all the mail-in balloting and the votes that have yet to have been counted, because if you guys recall, most states, many places are saying that if you have your mail-in ballot that has been cast and the postmark is for today, then it still counts. So those still have to be counted. So if there are areas where it's actually close, those votes might still actually matter, and they might still actually, be impacted by those areas. So we have a lot of swing states that are actually really close as far as polling is concerned. So I think there's definitely a lot that's still up in the air. It's great to see right now that the stock market is rocking and rolling, but I think there's just you have to understand and look at things for what they are and really know that, okay, at any time, this could probably go the other way. So just making sure that you have an understanding as far as that's concerned. Would I say sell everything you have right now? Absolutely not, because like I said, the latter or the former could happen. We could know who's president by tonight. If that happens, great. I think the stock market's going to go the hell off. So I wouldn't want to be out of the market completely, but it also makes sense to make sure that you have some cash on hand as well.
Yeah, a lot of people supporting Kanye. And then Death Slushy said Kanye is good for the market, ? Is that even a question? Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Whatever he's smoking, we're buying. So
if Kanye, here we didn't put a video out as far as that's concerned, but if Kanye gets in.
Oh my God. Why didn't we do a video on that?
If Kanye gets in, I'm buying Spotify. That's all there is to it. Just buying some Spotify.
What's up, Anthony John? Spotify and Canopy Growth. We need a company if Kanye wins.
Oh yeah. CGC 100%.
Bro, we need to make a video for Kanye before tonight's over.
That'll be hilarious. That would be hilarious.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Yeah, so Jeff George, I'm just going to give you one singular warning and that's it. we're not getting caught up in these politics conversations.
Yeah. Let's keep it clean.
All right. So with that being said, Bonnie Large asked a good question. Would love guidance. There's two questions. Should we scale out today? And would love guidance on the percentages you scaled out, kept in. Oh, I think that question is for me.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
The second part. I'll answer the second part. So I scaled out part yesterday and I scaled out more today. I am currently sitting at 30-ish%, a little over 30% of my account is liquid. So I normally have like 10 to 15%. So 30%, I might take a little bit more profits. My goal was to get around 40, but I'm good where I'm at. So that's where I'm at as far as my liquidity is concerned.
Yeah, and I think that's a pretty healthy balance, and that's really what it comes down to, whatever you're comfortable with. And honestly, at the end of the day, when you break everything back down to its core, the strategy that we encourage, the risk tolerances that we encourage, nothing changes, right? I mean, if you're worried about taking on more risk, then just shrink down your position sizes. And that minimizes your risk, that lowers your level of risk. And when you're ready to, take on more risk, whatever your comfort level is, then increase those position sizes. At the end of the day, we've kind of been hammering home as making sure that you're getting into good quality companies, especially in times of uncertainty. We've talked about the Apples and the Amazons and good quality companies and kind of staying away from those speculative stocks, because when the market is uncertain and you start to see selling off or, liquidity starts drying up in the market, the first place they dry up in is speculative stocks, penny stocks, those types of things. It's the first place they dry up in. And so then it makes it harder for you to get out. Usually you see some pretty increased selling off. Those are the first ones to fall off. So getting yourself, making sure that you have a good balance of just liquidity and being in stocks and making sure you're in good quality companies, that's really going to, set you up for the best possible outcome.
Yeah, James McCray said he sold some today. We know Steve King sold some. He's just sitting there waiting in the cup.
We love you, Steve. We love you.
Julio Cesar Lorenco Bianchi. Hey guys. Did you do any trades yesterday, Brad? Didn't see, I guess, did you send over the update?
Oh, so I forgot to actually screenshot. So for those of you who are the level 2 chaos crew, I every day I post any updates that I made to the portfolio. Yesterday, there were no updates, no changes. Today there were, so I'll make sure to post those today. I actually ended up adding to Wayfair today. So you'll see that showing up in the public portfolio, which if you guys want to check out, make sure you're hitting the join button next to subscribe, or there's a link in the description to become part of the Chaos Crew, and you can take a peek into that portfolio. It's doing pretty well.
All right. Lucky says, looking to invest some leftover cash in a tax-free account. Long-term, considering Rocket or Palantir. Which do you prefer for the time frame of like 5 to 7 years?
Wow, 5 to 7 years, Palantir or Rocket? I'd say they're both really good, man. I don't know if they're.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could give you one. that I like over the other. I think Planter is going to do really well. I like it. Anything you can scoop up under $10 a share as far as Planter is concerned, I like. If as far as Rocket, obviously it's under $20, and I think that's a steal as well. You're going to hold on to both of those, and within the next 5 years, you're going to do well either way.
Dan Dalton question, there was no Peloton in Stockwatch. Actually, Peloton was on the watch list, I believe, yesterday. So we had it on there.
That was on Stockwatch Sunday too, right?
It was on Stockwatch Sunday, I believe.
Yeah.
Excited about that. That has earnings on Thursday, right?
Yeah, Thursday after hours is Peloton.
Man, it's going to be so exciting. Somebody also asked, John Gossin, Black Bear, did you get confirmation on Peloton delivery time frame? I haven't heard. I forget who said they ordered one. But if you're on here, did you confirm it was like really short? I think it was within 2 weeks, they said, but I had heard it was up to 6 weeks in delays.
Yeah.
Nice. Amelia Estevez said, I joined the mentorship today and already made the membership feedback.
Hell yeah.
Totally worth it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Thanks for joining. Snookeroo, when am I doing more videos? Great question. I have 2 on deck, so you will actually see one this week. Felicia, what's going on, Felicia? I just want to say, we got to make sure we say hi to our people. Retirement, what's up? All right. We appreciate the support. Anton Peloton. Anton's going to be the next member to sign up. I can feel it in my bones. It's really active. All you guys that are dogging on Callaway, the earnings are next week.
That's maybe they're next week. Let's just say tentatively next week, because who the hell knows? Now it was 11.4. Now it's 11.9. Maybe it'll stick. Who the hell knows?
Yeah. I'm about break even on Callaway right now.
Me too.
All right.
A couple of comments from our Twitch watchers. I got Damar saying that he's been out of the crew since he was with Ricky in Discord. Man, Ricky Gutierrez days. That's awesome. Had some questions about First Solar. So this is actually going to be a good one too. So if you guys are over in Twitch, there's some people hanging out there. Make sure you're doing that as well if that's something that you prefer to do. But to answer your question, Damar, we kind of like First Solar. Their earnings were actually really good, but I think this is going to be another one to just kind of watch out for, because if we find out that Trump wins, I think First Solar is probably going to be one of the first ones to sell off. If Biden wins, then I think that we'll see First Solar be one of the first ones to kind of run up. Either way, I think that this is going to be a good one to hold on to if you can handle that kind of volatility. So First Solar is actually one of the better companies as far as solar is concerned, but honestly, there's so many of them that have a ton of debt, and we've seen this a lot. This has kind of been the running theme. Some of these earnings have come out on a lot of these solar stocks, and so we've seen them sell off because everybody's realizing, holy shit, they have a ton of debt. And I was trying to be like, yeah, no kidding, we know. So getting into the ETF, TAN seems to make a whole lot of sense to me. So instead of kind of trying to pick which one as far as solar is concerned, that might be the best one to go for, I would say that right now your safest bet's probably maybe to just bet on the industry itself and not any one particular stock, because it might be impossible to try to find the best company as far as solar is concerned to get into, unless it's Tesla. So, just keep that in mind.
All right, so we have a couple of people asking about Amazon end-of-year predictions. Are you still confident about your 4K end-of-year prediction?
Yes, I think it can still happen.
All right. The Latifa, I believe it was Latifa, asked about Square. Let me actually pull that up. Yes, is Square a buy?
Yeah, I think Square is definitely a buy. I mean, if we go and look at the chart here, let me go ahead and pull that up, actually. So if we pull up Square here, and it's sitting at 158.35. I think that we talked about this earlier when we were kind of going over our top 10 stocks. Excuse me. I think that Square is going to have a really good earnings. And so just maybe watch to see how the earnings plays out. The running theme for earnings this time around, especially in the tech space, has been earnings are a blowout, time to sell it off. And I think that's just a mistake. So watch to see if we see a sell-off. If we do, 140 seems to be a relatively good area for support. If for some reason it can't hold that, then maybe around 134. But even at this area, I think that square goes to $200 before long. I think it goes to 200 before we ever see it down below 130. But I like square a lot. Yes, I think it's a buy.
Latifah, we discussed Zoom in our top 10 stocks. We're gonna pull that clip and release that video this evening. So look out for that video. Top stocks for November. We feel good about Zoom. Prime time. I'm glad your fantasy team is cooking. Did you talk about support levels for Tesla, entry points?
Yeah, so Tesla right now, we'll just take a look at that real quick. I'll pull that back up. Let me see here. Tesla right now, is it still sitting in the 420s? Yeah, 423 right now. So with Tesla, I mean, 415 seems to be a reasonable area for support now if it can sustain up above this 420 area. So I like 415 as far as support's concerned. We already know about 400 and 385. Those are kind of levels that we really like as well. But if I just bring this down, if I bring this trend line down, we'll bring it back down here. It still looks bullish. We're still seeing higher lows overall. So I think this is definitely a good spot to just kind of watch and see if it holds above 415. But again, you know, I don't know if it matters what president we see. As long as we see a president, Tesla should do really well.
All right, cool. Slider, you called me on my live stream. Only 2 people saw that. That was a test. I tried to do a live stream on my YouTube channel.
Oh, did you?
To test something. I wasn't trying to go live. I was trying to test something out.
Yeah.
And so it was live for like 15 seconds. My man was like ready.
That's hilarious.
So
must have had them notifications on.
Yeah, I know.
Click that bell.
Santiago, I believe your question was answered. As far as midterm thoughts on Tesla for midterm, you should be fine. Short term is really the question, but midterm, long term, getting in Tesla is fine for now. Latifah, thanks for the donation. Appreciate that.
Getting that donation train rolling.
LA and Joe tested positive. Which, yeah, no, we're killing it. We got an upgrade. I don't know if you mentioned, but we had an upgrade. Eric Scarl upgraded.
Oh, yeah.
To level 2.
Nice.
Yeah. So I will say some people also, I wanted to mention about Amazon as well. That was one that we had on the October top stock list, and you wanted to put it on this list. Yeah. It is one of our top stocks in life. So for you guys asking that, we're really, really bullish on Amazon. Anything below 3,000 is a clear buy.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're gonna continue to dominate.
Yeah. It's so funny. 2018, I had mentioned that I saw Apple hitting $300 a share, and that was like sometime in the midsummer 2018. It didn't actually hit 300 until like January 2nd, which I was super pissed about. So like 2 days after 2019 was over. I'm wondering if we might see something similar with Amazon, where I think that we see 4,000, but it might end up being like right after the new year. But either way, I think that we see that. I think they have a monster fourth quarter, 2021 shaping up to be really good for them. So Amazon, yes, I think that anything in this low $3,000 range is a clear buy, in my opinion.
Dead League, they both are. Amazon and Apple are both in Fat Man. Fat Man.
That's right. Hey, so some of these guys, they're catching on the Fat Man train, bro. They know what's up. They know what's in that portfolio.
They figured it out. Took you guys long enough. Fat Man Zoom Rocket.
Fat Man. Oh, we're gonna add rocket to the end of it. It could be fart. Hey, it could be Fart Man Zoom.
Fart Man Zoom, you're smart. Or Frat Man Zoom.
I like Fart Man Zoom better.
See, you're feeding the trolls now.
I know.
Ema's just gonna go off on that one. Thanks for nothing. All right. Hey, Camilo, what's going on? We actually did talk a lot of these things we talked about. Can you talk about how you think the election will play out? If it's going to drag out, unrest, Biden, Trump win, should I just wait for the dust to settle or go in YOLO? Yeah, basically what we said was We don't think it's going to be clear cut. We think it's going to be choppy. I would personally just kind of wait to see how things settle out. But definitely don't go all in.
Yeah.
But if you go back, you can watch it. It's our main topic. We talked about how we feel about it. Another question.
I got Mike Hudson over here on Twitch. He said, my opinion is if there's a decisive victory either way tonight, market will be great. If not, it's going to be a shit show. And so I think that's probably the sentiment that I think most of us have, and we share with that too. I think it's probably going to be, a similar kind of situation, but it's just looking at some of the comments in here too. But I got one. Half Duplex over on Twitch says, looking for companies that pay dividends. Any ones to keep an eye on for, or do you guys have a stream coming up where you'll talk about more as far as dividends are concerned? I thought this would actually be a good question for you since you're really interested in dividends and kind of working your way into that a little bit more. Do you have any offhand that you really like?
Sorry, I am caught up in the farts, man. Were you asking any dividend stocks that?
Yeah, Half Duplex Gaming over on Twitch is asking about any dividends that we're considering looking into.
Yeah, I'll tell you the ones that were kind of on the radar for when we're building the dividend bot. I think O is the most common one, popular one. It's a monthly dividend. I think it's around 8% now, but O is a good one. A sneaky one for me is Main. That's another MAIN ticker symbol, Main Street. Some people are a little bit more cautious about that because it's exposure to like small business, or I guess mid-sized business. But those are both monthly ones. AT&T is one if you want Verizon or AT&T, whichever one you pick, but Verizon's AT&T's got a little bit of a higher yield. But I would say those are the ones I would look at. And then I'll throw in like Coke as another one, KO.
Cool. I like, really kind of some of the other ones too that I would look to, maybe Verizon, AT&T, those have really decent dividends. And we always talk about how investing in oil is not going to be really fruitful as far from a growth standpoint, and oil has been awful. But Chevron's just up their dividends as well. Some of them yielding as much as 20% on dividends. So, take advantage of it while you can, because that's the only leg that oil has to stand on right now. It's the only thing that's keeping investors invested in some of their companies is because of their dividends. So take a look at those. Those are probably some interesting avenues to go down as well. Just don't expect a whole lot of growth, but there's dividends you can almost bank on, at least for the time being.
Bro, I love you, man. You crack me up though.
What did I do?
You don't even listen to me anymore.
What did I do?
I said Verizon and AT&T, and then I ended, and you go, yeah, Verizon and AT&T or some. I
was trying to type and listen. I can't do two things at once. I just can't do it.
I do the same thing sometimes. You've just been doing it more than me lately. Latifa, Verizon does give a good dividend, which is around just under 5%. AT&T is just under 8%. The argument, so you guys know which one, or sort of like the differences. The argument is that like Verizon has more growth potential, and as a company is just more stable. So, but I don't think that should be an issue for either one. But I think there's more growth potential for the value of the stock from Verizon than AT&T right now.
Yeah.
So it just depends. If you want that yield, AT&T's yield is going to be higher.
Sweet. We got 490 folks watching on YouTube. We could get the thumbs up. We certainly would appreciate the love. We appreciate you guys hanging out and want to go ahead and we want everybody to share the shit out of this. So just give us a thumbs up. YouTube apparently shares the shit out of it if you give it a thumbs up. So we certainly would appreciate it if you guys could support us in that way.
Emo bought Coke and lost all his money.
I love Coke.
Somebody was asking about Uber, your thoughts on Uber.
So my thoughts on Uber is this. Uber has been one that I haven't liked since day one. And a lot of that is just because the company itself has subscribed to this grow at all costs mentality. And that has rarely worked for companies. And I think some people try to relate it to an Amazon type of deal but I don't think that that's really a fair comparison because Amazon is just its own island by itself. something like Uber, when you're trying to grow at all costs, especially in a time where, nobody's going and trying to do ride sharing as far as transportation is concerned. And if anything, they're going away from it. And I think that that's definitely working against them. They are a company that has still have yet to been profitable, yet they're paying their executives and upwards of over $40 million in a year. The top 7 executives combined are making over $40 million a year, yet they still can't seem to bring themselves to profitability. And I think that that's just a big, huge red flag for me. I've never liked the way that Uber has done business. And not only that, but if they keep dragging their feet as far as it's concerned, Tesla's coming for them. The robo-taxis, I think, are going to be a real thing before 2030. Obviously, there's a lot of legislation that has to go through, but that's not a lot of time. We're talking less than 10 years now to 2030, and it might seem like it's forever, but it really isn't. And I think that if we see that, Uber's in a world of hurt. It's going to be a lot of trouble for Uber and Lyft. I don't like either one of them.
Yeah, I'm excited about that robo-taxi.
Yeah, that'd be wild, bro.
And it potentially has the ability to generate revenue for the owner of the car, like for Tesla cars. If you own a car, you could actually put it in the ecosystem of the robo-taxi.
Yeah.
So you can actually make money. So are you correct? Or wait, let me start here. James McCrea, I just put the link for the Dividend Bot. If you go to stockwatchsunday.com/members, I just put it in the chat. Click on that. It's the first submission that comes up. Say you want to RSVP for the Dividend Bot. So anybody who's curious what we're talking about, we're for any of the Chaos Crew members, you'll have an opportunity to get access to the Dividend Bot pre-launch. So we're launching an automated bot January 1st, but we're going to give access to the Chaos Crew at the beginning of December. So that's really exciting. Or actually, beginning of December that we'll do that. We're beta testing it. We're actually going to start that this week. But it's going to be a good opportunity to generate some passive income. We're really excited about it. And I think, don't mark my words, but I think we're going to limit the amount of licenses we sell. So I think we're going to sell about 100, and that's it until we're going to build other bots. So that's the Dividend Bot. If you guys are interested in RSVPing for that and getting updates and news for when we officially launch the Gas Crew, go to stockwatchsunday.com/members.
That's something that I'm super excited for. I can't wait till we actually kick that off and we get some beta testers in there and just kind of really mess around with that some more. It's going to be a lot of fun. The bot's going to be something that I think is going to be a huge game changer, not only for us, but I think for a lot of people. So, Christopher, you don't have to spam the chat. NIO is something that, I'm not done. I'm done fighting it. For one, as far as whether or not I think it's going to go up or down. So here's the thing: right now, it's up 7.5% again, all-time highs for NIO. I bet that this is going to be one of those Chinese stocks that probably end up falling if we see a Trump presidency, but will probably continue to explode if we see a Biden one. That being said, there's still a lot of what ifs on NIO. I'm just waiting for the rug to get pulled here because they still aren't very transparent on their financials. We have no idea how much debt they have. It's been very apparent to me that they've been diluting the shit out of this stock, especially with the amount of shares that have been traded and the lack of price movement. So that's something that you can always see. And you can throw all the accounting stuff that you want on me. I've had a lot of people throw a lot of shade on me for this because they're like, well, you don't understand. They actually hired third-party accountants to do all their auditing and stuff like this. And I'm like, I don't care. When they come through Form 6s and it says unaudited financials on there, that's all I care about. And then I'm looking at price action. You see the amount of shares that go in and out of this thing. There's no way they're not diluting this thing because you see the shares that flow in through stocks with that kind of volume, they're going to be up a lot more than 7-8% a day. They're going to be up 20-30% with that kind of volume going in and out. So it's been absolutely insane. There's definitely ways you can tell by watching the price action that something's being diluted. It doesn't look like they've been diluted over the last week or two, but leading up to now, they've been diluting like crazy, and it's very obvious. And I just don't like dilution. Maybe they're done with it. Maybe they don't need to dilute anymore. But they came out with record sales in China. That's why a lot of people are excited about it. And like I said, I'm done fighting it. I think it probably will continue to move up. I just there's just certain things that I don't trust, and that's something that I don't trust. And it's kept me, it's allowed me to survive up to this point. So I'm just going to continue to stick to my guns and stick to my strategy.
Yeah. I mean, so I feel I agree with what you're saying, and let's provide clarity on what audited means. I mean, if they have a third party that's auditing, okay, all auditing means is that you're on the up and up as far as like you're tracking everything.
Yeah.
Doesn't show if you're profitable, not profitable, growth, all that stuff. And we need to know that as an investor.
Yeah.
So I don't care about auditing. That means that, okay, you're in good standing with whoever the tax forces are, but to see the numbers is really important to make decisions. I like NEO short term to midterm maybe, but I hate it long term for the reasons that you said. And if you are in it, I think you got to keep a close eye on it because of the dilution and potentially the uncertainty. So I think it's a horrible long term play. But if you, for the short term, for sure, the exposure to China. But I share your same concerns as well.
I mean, you look at something like Lordstown Motors right now that has, they're up 32%, and with a fraction of the share volume that's rolling in through this thing. Now, obviously, you can make the argument as well that they're different share structures, and I get all that, but their share structure on NEO seems to continue to be expanding here. So that's the thing that just got me a little bit worried. You look at the total overall share volume on this, it looks like it's around 89, I think it's like 89,000, somewhere around there. You look at NIOs and Lordstown's at 106, 489,000 for NIO, 489,000 share volume compared to Lordstown, which is let me go back, just over 100,000. So it's a quarter of the volume that's going into Lordstown Motors that NIO is. And again, like I said, share structures mean everything, but the share structure here, the amount of buying that's been going on at NIO keeps struggling to move up. When you look at something like Lordstown, it's been absolutely insane. So these are ones that go, though, guys, that I would be very careful with. If you're in Lordstown right now, let's just go ahead and take a look at that. It's RIDE is the ticker symbol. It's up 30% on what? On the anticipation that we see a Biden win or some sort of presidency. If it doesn't go their way, I mean, look for something like RIDE to potentially come down. So this is exciting to watch. Don't get yourself wrapped up in the FOMO. If this is something that you can afford to take risk on, sure, by all means, that's a different conversation. But if you're in this one and you haven't taken any profit, if it were me, I would probably consider trimming some off. You want to leave some in, makes a little bit of sense. But this thing's going absolutely apeshit right now, and it's crazy to watch.
Yeah, Peter Foreman, welcome to the crew. Thanks for joining.
Let's go. Welcome to the crew, my man.
So Samuel Treylove says, brand new to trading, have no clue what any of you are talking about. I just wanted to ask if you have any idea of where I start. Listen, first of all, it's a lot, but like if you get the reps in, you'll start hearing the same thing, and it's not as much as it seems. Like it is very overwhelming in the beginning, but listen, it's the same stuff we're talking about. So just stick with it, and don't get frustrated. That's what we're here for. I would suggest you start in a very simple place. Go to Webull and open up an account and start with a paper trading account. Just open that. Start there. Start buying stocks, and then from there you'll start building off the knowledge, and there's other opportunities. That's free to do. I would start there. What do you think, Brad?
Yeah, absolutely. And really, people like to shun paper trading and think that, well, paper trading isn't the same as trading with real money. And that's absolutely true. But if you don't even know something as simple as how to set a limit order versus a market order, then you're going to want to make those mistakes on paper trading. So yes, start out with paper trading. Absolutely do that. Don't spend too much time in paper trading because it'll give you a false sense of security, but you definitely got to do it. I mean, you got to start off with paper trading, and I don't think there's even really a clear, good argument that you can make against it, period. Santiago Rodriguez Muno, welcome to level 2. Thanks for upgrading, bro. Appreciate it.
Camilo E, guys, I was wondering, how do you guys play IPOs? Airbnb public offering coming in hot in December. Is it a first day buy, or IPOs only good for institutional investors?
So for IPOs, I don't like buying them right out of the gate. I think that IPOs are worth waiting on because, I mean, we can go and look at something as simple as Snowflake, right? Snowflake, and there's plenty of other ones. And I did this with Rocket, to be honest with you. Snowflake, ticker symbol SNOW, went absolutely crazy the first day. If you guys recall, it went all the way up to $300 a share after opening at, what was it? It opened up at 230, somewhere around there. And I think it even actually opened up technically lower than that. But with all the buying that came in, it went absolutely apeshit. Went all the way up to $319 a share. And some poor soul bought it all the way up here. And then the very next day came down as low as 215, still sitting at 260. So, you know, I think that it's definitely worth waiting on the IPO to kind of settle out and actually consolidate somewhere. Sometimes you see this thing, IPOs go absolutely crazy, but eventually they come back down, and they all do this. And one big key reason and key factor is called the lockup period. Sometimes it takes a little bit more of a hit on others but you look at something like Beyond Meat that went crazy from $40 some a share all the way up to almost $300 a share. Lockup period shows up, extreme dump off, went all the way back down to around $70, $80 a share before, finally coming back up once all their initial investors sold out. So, there's definitely risk involved as far as that's concerned. And so I think that, in my opinion, it's always worth kind of just waiting around. People always get caught up in the FOMO on really big name IPOs. I think Airbnb is going to be fantastic. Obviously, things have been rocky for them for this year, considering the Rona. But I think that Airbnb is going to continue to do really well. I think it's the future. But I think you're also going to get plenty of time to actually invest in it. And the first day it becomes public doesn't seem like it's a reasonable time to start buying it up.
Yeah, sorry. Let me go back really quick to Samuel. You're welcome, Samuel. We have a link for Webull in the description if you want to click on, and you get a free stock, so you can use that to potentially trade. And we do have a mentorship. Somebody mentioned the mentorship. You can join that. I didn't want to offer that because I didn't want to think we were selling things, but we do go live every morning. Brad goes live at 9 a.m. Eastern time, where it's a live private group on Zoom where he trades actively. So that is a great spot when you're ready for that. What's up, Bruce? So really quick on the IPO thing, it is a gamble. You could day trade it. You could try to day trade it if you want to. I stay away from IPOs. My sort of rule of thumb is like, wait till after the first earnings, because I feel like that's when most of the profit taking will be happening, and you'll get an opportunity after that.
Yeah.
So speaking of, okay, so people are asking about NVIDIA. I wanted to bring that up. First of all, are you correct? I saw, and I think you said this as a joke when I was talking about dividend stocks. Dividend yield of NVIDIA. NVIDIA has 0.1% as a dividend stock. So I wouldn't classify that as, but I feel like you already knew it and you were trying to troll me. But we love NVIDIA as a whole. If you want to talk about NVIDIA.
Yeah, NVIDIA is just another one of those stocks. When we talk about good stocks to invest in, and really, it's kind of one of those things where you have NVIDIA is kind of on the outside of the FANG stocks. Microsoft is always on the outside of the FANG stocks. It's kind of its red-headed stepchild, if you will. NVIDIA is in that same category. It's a really great company. It's a solid company. We think this is one that you should just own and not even bother trading. With it sitting here, it's up 3.5% right now, $519 a share. I called this a buy at 500. If anybody said that this was, or if anybody caught that from Stockwatch Sunday, I said $500 a share. If we got this at or below, it was a steal. Sitting up at 520 right now. I think that this goes to 600 before long. They got so many good things going on with them. It's NVIDIA and AMD that's now in the game as far as I'm concerned. You have Intel, but the lead as far as market share is concerned, and even just overall development is concerned, is that gap is widening. And so I think Intel is trying to make some desperation moves. They got a partner as far as 5G. 5G is concerned with Dish. That might bring in some more revenue, but I don't think it's going to do a whole hell of a lot. Really, the nanotechnology is where it's at for AMD and NVIDIA. NVIDIA is also getting into autonomous driving as well. So it's not just gaming anymore for NVIDIA. So this is one to just buy and hold forever. Not really something that I would say try to get cute with. anything in the low $500 range seems like it's an absolute steal as far as I'm concerned. I like it a lot.
Sean Ethier says, is it bad my daily life revolves around Helmet Chaos now? You guys rock.
Hell no,
Thanks,
you hang out with us anytime you want, bro.
Absolutely not. It's bad. That sounds like the smartest decision you ever made in your life.
You're goddamn right.
How many more questions do you have in you?
Let's go. Let's just keep rolling. I don't care.
You're rolling so close?
Whoa, it's 3:30 already. What the hell? I mean, yeah, I got nowhere to be. Whatever, man.
Okay, we're rolling till market close. Yeah, that sell-off should be happening in about 5 minutes. Hey, by the way, NVIDIA, the technology at 5-iron golf, and 5-iron golf for anybody watching is indoor top golf. That's the best way to explain it to golf simulators. That's NVIDIA.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, I was playing.
Cool.
I was doing it yesterday, and it was. I noticed on the screen it was NVIDIA. So they do like the virtual technology for the golf simulators.
Yeah, that's really cool. I had no idea. Yeah, the indoor golf place, by the way, is a game changer. That place is awesome.
Yeah. What is wrong? What is wrong with people? We love you too, Dead League.
We love you guys. Listen, you guys are ridiculous.
Go ahead.
I got him.
Go ahead. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Felicia. Not Felicia the realtor. The other Felicia.
That Felicia.
All right. So we already talked about Amazon. So he's behind 8K. He's in on it. Should I start selling some of my position? I don't think you sell Amazon. I think you hold on to Amazon.
Yeah, I agree.
We already took care of it, Shady, but thank you. We appreciate you.
There's always one. There's always one.
You need the Freddie. We need the Freddie Beloit clip.
I know. Bye.
By the way, are you tuning in to World Local News tonight?
I got to, man. I got to. We got a buddy of ours who does who just started on YouTube. Full disclosure, we're not trying to plug him or anything. Like, he literally just started on YouTube. But he's a comedian and has what's it called? World Local News. That's the channel name.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, we'll probably end up.
They're trying to get on YouTube. We're the only ones that view it. They get some viewers on Instagram, but
I was watching it one night. I was literally the only viewer, but it's all good. We're gonna bring the
crew through one day and just bombard them.
That's right.
With like hundreds of crew members.
They do that on Twitch. It's called what the hell is that called? I don't remember. There's a term for it, but like literally all of your viewers you can dump onto somebody else, which is a pretty cool feature. Wish they had that on YouTube. I would totally do that.
Samuel, I don't know T212, but we have people from UK here. Weeble's a great platform.
Yes.
Do you know about T212?
I do not.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Dewey Tran, welcome to thanks for the donate, bro. Appreciate it.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Disney? Asked Leon. We love Disney.
Love Disney. Let me pull it up on the chart here real quick. So Disney right now sitting at 124. Honestly, this might be an area that I would probably consider trimming just a little bit because we just don't know what's going to happen tonight. But this is met up to 124, which is another area of resistance for it. Seems to have gotten rejected. Let me look at the 5-minute real quick just to kind of check intraday trading on this thing. But yeah, this is trying to make another power move all the way up to 125. It might end up doing it, but I think that it might make a lot of sense to just trim some off. But we love Disney long term. We've talked about Disney Plus and how it's really kind of kept the company afloat. I mean, it really has. And you can say what you want about how they've had to cut 28,000 jobs, which is an absolute major deal. That is not something that should be discounted. But they do this to try to improve their overall stance, their overall balance sheets and everything. Disney just knows how to do it. And so they've been through it all. This isn't anything for them. I think that once they open the parks back up for good and once they're at full capacity, Disney had gone to $200 and it ain't even close. It ain't even going to be, it's not even going to be a thing. It'll be $200, no problem.
Yeah. So I don't know what Zoom stocks means. Whoever asked about Zoom stocks.
I think you just meant Zoom stock.
Do you have any questions on your end?
Let me check out Twitch. So we are simulcasting on Twitch. Rating. Yeah. That's people were talking about rating. Yeah. So that's what the term is. Thanks, Half Duplex and Demar. Appreciate that. But I see a couple of questions here. There's some dividends that people are putting up. Nothing really direct that I'm seeing. But just still the dividend conversations going on over on Twitch right now.
Oh man, are we able to like shoot the shit?
Yeah, we can do that.
I've been waiting to shoot the shit for a while.
I mean, I don't care. We can shoot it.
So apparently Weeble is US only. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, it is US only. So it's not for anybody who's international, which, we could do a roll call too. I mean, where are you guys from?
Where are you guys from? Fiverr versus Upwork. I like Fiverr more because they have a better balance sheet and just had good earnings. Also think it's better for the common man. Yeah, we like Fiverr.
Fiverr's good. Upwork, yeah, a lot of people have been asking what the comparison is, if there is one, and I don't think there is one. Honestly, I think that Fiverr is the better bet all the way around. Especially, in a time where everybody's just continually looking to be able to build their businesses online. A lot of that's been accelerated because of the Rona, and I think Fiverr obviously has been a huge benefactor of that. I think they continue to do so. And Felicia, the realtor, not to be confused with the other Felicia, has donated to the channel. Thanks, Felicia. We appreciate the support.
We got Australia, Ireland, Florida. AMC, what do you guys think about AMC? Is it a waste of time, a historical comeback? I feel like if you're looking for a comeback stock, AMC is not the way to go.
No, definitely not. Snookeroo from I just lost it. Wilmington, hell yeah.
I don't know. I actually heard about. I feel like I heard rumblings that they may claim bankruptcy. They're on the verge of bankruptcy. AMC.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's terrible.
Double check that.
I literally could rent out an entire AMC theater for $20. Bring about
$100.
$100. Yeah, and bring what? 20 of my friends.
Yes.
That's insane. That's I don't even know if that's keeping the lights on.
Dutron. We talked about this. What happens with Tesla if Joe becomes president? So if Sleepy Joe becomes president, Tesla goes off. Actually, he is probably going to repeal the cap on the energy tax credits, which bodes well for Tesla as well. But yeah, it'll be fine either way. It'll do well either way, but definitely for if Joe Biden wins. I feel like when you talk about Joe and Trump together, it's like, I wish there was a drinking game that we could come up with and like have a camera follow them both around all night tonight. And whenever Joe loses a state, he says, "Come on, man," and you take a drink. And whenever Trump loses a state, he says fake news and you take a drink. That would be great if somebody could just follow them around and we could just have a hell of a drinking game out of it. Yeah. I mean, how many times do you think that's going to be said? Probably a lot. Come on, man. Yeah, you're probably right. Oh man. Slovenia. Marco, all the way from Slovenia. Thanks for tuning in, man. We appreciate you. All right, I'll do this for you. So Maestro XXV asked, we're recommending so many stocks. Would you mind sharing your long-term stocks portfolio? And so I'll do mine. I just rebalanced one of my Roth IRA portfolio. So I have one retirement that's going to be essentially Fat Man Zoom stocks. And so they're the popular ones, so we don't have to get into that unless people want me to break it down. But I just rebalanced my Roth, and I will tell you exactly what I have in it. Apple, Bank of America, which I've had forever, Drive Shack, Coke, Maine, O, Rocket, and Tesla. That's all I have.
Oh, you got yourself some O in there, huh? That's
I
pretty.
did. Yeah.
Did you just
I
pick some
got
of that up?
What's that?
Did you just pick some of that up this week?
No. I've had, when I said rebalanced it, I think it was a couple months ago. So
Oh, well, okay.
beginning of September. Yeah.
Nice.
And I've been on Main for a while. So some of it I added to, I had sold a bunch of things. Like I had Peloton in there. I had Zoom in there. And I just had it in a bunch of portfolios. So I was like, well, I'm trading Zoom. So I moved some of it around and simplified it.
Yeah. So for my long-term portfolio, I have probably somewhere between 25 and 30. I think it's 27 positions, and I still haven't gone back to check. I only rebalance it probably like once a quarter, but I would say 5 of them that I have Tesla, Apple, Disney, Tesla, Apple, Disney. I have Boeing is in there, which I'm not all that happy with, but I think that'll probably end up coming around, and GE. Those are 5 that I can think of off the top of my head that I have, but I have about 27 positions in that long-term portfolio. And it really just kind of comes down to just being diversified. And, I'm looking at this to hold on to for the next, 30, 40 years that I can live off of. So, I don't really look at it all that often, but yeah, I have somewhere close to 30 positions in a longer term portfolio.
Dude, this is fun to do. I'm going to do this one real quick and then we'll move on.
All right.
Scott, we'll get your question. So my daughter has an account. My daughter's 6. I have an account for her long term, and hers is crushing it.
Is it really?
She has more. Apple, Baba freaking crushed it for her.
Yeah.
Baba, Disney, Facebook, Spirit, Spy, Tesla, and Walmart, and ExxonMobil. She picked ExxonMobil, so she screwed that one up.
But let's just keep in mind, she's what, 6?
Yeah, she's 6.
So she crushing it better than all of us are. So if a 6-year-old can do it, you guys can. She
got Tesla at $177 a share.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Oh my God. No, she's 7 in December. She'll be 7 in a minute. Garcia family, Maine or there's a higher yield on Maine. They're both monthly dividends. I would say real estate exposure, a little bit safer. It's one of the dividend aristocrats, I believe.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Maestro. If you got kids, get them a stock every Christmas.
Get them early, man. Get them early.
All right, Scott, what do you guys think about the airline stocks right now, specifically United Airlines? I think we mentioned this. With a video on Trump, if Trump wins, but airlines should come back quicker. We shouldn't have as much fear of a lockdown, but it should come back quicker. So that means the airline should come back quicker.
Well, not only that, but I think that once we have a clear winner, stimulus is back on the table.
Yes.
That's the other thing that's going to propel the airliners as well. Leading into 2021, I think that's really what's going to move them. United Airlines isn't bad. I think that they're okay. Their break-even load factor, I want to say, is somewhere around 85, 86%, meaning that they need to have 85 to 86% of their planes full to break even on them. The best one is Southwest, which is 78, 76, somewhere around there. So I think that, we've already kind of talked about how we really like Southwest and how it's not really reliant on international travel as much as Delta, American Airlines, and even United to a certain extent. So that's why we like Southwest the best. I think that if you're gonna see one that actually goes back to normal the fastest, it's probably going to be Southwest.
Yeah. Somebody asked, and somebody was asking about Boeing. It basically should mimic the airlines. I don't think there'll be a huge drop for Boeing after the election. I don't see why it would.
Yeah.
Unless everything else drops. If the whole market drops, that's the caveat in general. But yeah, stimulus is that's what I think. Like, if it is a clear winner, I think I agree with you. The market will go off. They'll start moving. But I think there'll be this sort of waiting period where I think initially it'll go off. But stimulus talks is going to be the key. It's going to be that same freaking conversation.
Yeah.
But I think stimulus happens pretty quickly. I mean, if we get a clear winner, I feel like we should get stimulus before the month is out. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah, I would at least think that we have some sort of direction on where stimulus is headed and how fast we can get it by the end of the month. I would be surprised if we did not. Obviously, a lot of that's resting on, if we have a clear president, clear winner by then. So I think
Congress.
Yeah, and obviously Congress too. But yeah, definitely a big deal. I think it'll be as far as stimulus is concerned. Wanted to check back in with our polls, and Kanye is gaining ground here. Last I checked in about an hour ago, Kanye was down to 14%. People thought that Kanye was going to win. Trump's still at 52%. Biden's at 30%. Kanye now coming up at 19%. So he gained 5%. We got 237 votes on the YouTube community post, and there is 126 votes on Twitter at Own the Chaos. Go check me out, and go check out at Fat Man Zoom. He has yet to put up any kind of real post, but go check him out at Twitter.
I did one.
You did one, right? Yeah, he did one.
I'm gonna start doing earnings season. I got you. I got you.
But go check him out at Fat Man Zoom at Twitter if you guys want to follow him as well. And
the content will be coming. Definitely my YouTube channel and Twitter for sure. I want to get a morning one. I might do when we're doing the watch list, I might do something called the 6 stock, and maybe the 1 stock that didn't make the watch list. Maybe I'll put that on there, something like that. We'll see.
Yeah.
But bro, let's just do this for fun. Let's just do the top 3 stocks. If Kanye wins the presidency, let's pull the clip. I'll make a thumbnail.
Okay.
You want to take Canopy?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, this is really bad. And then I'll take Spotify.
Okay.
I was going to say Moet Hennessy, but I think that might offend some people. Potentially. No, I'm doing that.
What?
All right. I'm going to start. I'll take number 1. So you kick it off.
Okay.
You kick it over to me, and I give number 1 stock. You give number 2, and I'll give number 3. And then you can close it out.
All right. We got the top stocks to buy if Kanye wins the presidency. Batman Zoom, kick it off.
When Kanye wins the presidency, the number 1 stock to buy is Spotify, ticker symbol SPOT. Listen, we're going to be booming in the music industry. It's going to be free royalties for 100% royalties for all the artists. Spotify is going to go through the roof. Buy Spotify.
For me, it's the reason there was even a college dropout, and that's got to be CGC. Canopy Growth is going to be the stock to buy. It's going to be the stock to buy no matter what. But if Kanye gets in, that thing's going to the moon, baby. You got to get into some weed stocks, and CGC is going to be the one you want to be in.
I couldn't agree with you more. First order of business for Kanye when he gets in, legalization of the Mary Jane. Number 3. And stick around to the end, everybody, for the bonus stock. Number 3 is an OTC LVMH Moet Hennessy, because we need to sip the scissor. So Moet Hennessy, alcohol sales through the roof. Buy now. All right. And the bonus stock is, it's going to be Adidas. Is Adidas. Buy all your Yeezys at Adidas, and I'm pretty sure he no longer has a partnership with Adidas, so forget everything I just said. But there you have it.
There's your fired up Fat Man Zoom and the stocks to buy if Kanye wins the presidency. What a shit show that was. All right. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Listen, I told you that we have the most accurate polls that are out there. Kanye's gaining ground here, 19%.
Yeah.
So you can take that to the bank.
Yeah, Gap was definitely one of the ones I was thinking of, but I couldn't remember.
I see somebody, Vinay's asking about if I'm excited for Zynga's earnings. They have earnings after hours today, so I think that they probably will actually beat. And what I'll think will be one to actually keep an eye on after earnings as well. I want you to kind of make sure that you're looking at the outlook as far as that report's concerned, Vinay. But yeah, I like Zynga a lot. It's only a matter of time before they get up above $10. I don't know where they're sitting at today. Let me take a look. Maybe they're up over $10 today. That would be awesome. ZNGA. At 951. So yeah, I mean, $10 I think is on the horizon for Zynga. I think it'll be $10 for good. We've seen them pop over there every once in a while and not really sustain that. But yeah, I like them a lot. I think they'll do well. A lot of people loving the Kanye picks.
It just makes it more fun.
It does, yeah.
He was a hot mess on Joe Rogan, by the way. I
know. I watched it. I was like, what am I watching right now? I can only take about 10 minutes of it.
Landon L asks, I'm not sure if you want to answer this question or not, but I think it's fair to ask. Non-biased opinion and not necessarily who you want to win, but who do you think takes it down tonight?
Who do I? Well, first of all, I don't think we have a clear winner tonight. But I think if I had to venture a guess, it's probably going to be Trump. And the only reason that I say that is because it could, and this is just me speculating, but the last debate, I thought that the kind of nail in the coffin, so to speak, or what might have swayed a lot of votes was that definitive, yes, we're getting rid of fossil fuels and I'm going to make sure that happens comment from Biden. And I think that really kind of swayed a lot of people, especially in Pennsylvania. That's a big deal for them in PA. So that's kind of my hunch. We'll just see if it happens.
Okay. I'll give you my answer. I'm not going to say why, because I think it provides fodder.
That's true.
I think Trump does win, period.
There you go.
Joe won't ever have Kanye on the show in Sober October. That was a dumb move.
That was a dumb move.
Why'd you have him on Sober October? And why'd you have Alex Jones on Sober October?
Yeah.
Alex Jones got hammered.
Yeah, he did. He sure did.
It was, oh.
I thought about doing No Shave November for us. That was the response that I thought I would get out of you, so I decided to nix it.
I've come close before. Yeah, I'd be open to it.
I used to have a beard. I did No Shave November once. I'll put a picture of it up on Twitter. Go follow me at Own the Chaos. I had a beard that was probably down to right about here because I did No Shave November, and then I did Don't Shave December, and Just Leave It January, and I finally mowed it off in March. So I had a beard that I just kept on growing probably for about 3-4 months, and it was quite scraggly looking.
Wow.
I probably could have braided it. I was getting close to that.
Somebody asked about
Thanos. Don Francho in the house. What's up, Don? Voting for Thanos. That's hilarious.
2 free stocks. It gives you your 2 free stocks, but you can sell them after a certain time.
You can sell them as soon as you get them. As soon as they show up in your account, you can sell them.
Okay. How long? Do you know how long it takes to show up in your account?
Yeah. So if you sign up for Webull and you use our link, which is in the description, if you guys sign up and fund your account with $100 or more, you get it up to 2 free stocks, and they're valued up to $1,600 potentially. So you get them after you fund your account within, I think it's within 10 business days. They'll show up. It's within 10 business days. So I think it's 5 days for settlement. Like, so when you add cash, when you transfer your money, it's like 5 days. And then once you get your free stocks, it'll take up to 10 days to settle in there. And then as soon as they show up in your account, in your portfolio, you can sell them as long as the market's open, of course.
Yeah. Shoot. Oh, Claudia said the Alex Jones episode, I feel, was a message to Spotify employees. I 100% think that was a flex for Joe Rogan to have Alex Jones on.
I think it was too. Especially
and
Spotify.
There wasn't that much heat either.
Well, Spotify employees gave him a bunch of heat. There's a lot of salty Spotify employees.
After the Alex Jones episode?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, before, and then it was exacerbated even more after, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I heard something maybe the day after, but I haven't heard anything serious since then, which you would think they would. I don't know, but he did an incredible job. Joe Rogan did an incredible job interviewing Alex Jones through that thing.
I mean,
and essentially stopping him from going off the rails and like fact checking him.
Yeah.
So it was just literal, just information that wasn't just speculation.
Joe Rogan is probably single-handedly the best interviewer of our lifetime, and maybe forever.
That's a bold statement.
I'm just saying. Like, I mean, has there ever been an interview that you've watched from anybody else other than Joe Rogan that has captivated you and kept you sucked in for the entire thing?
I'm sure there's somebody. I'm sure there's. I mean, he's definitely up there.
If you got to think that hard about it, I mean, I think that answers the question.
Well, I mean, you're talking about interviews. I'm trying to think of who I've even seen for interviewers in general.
Yeah.
But I'll get back to you on that one. Oh shoot, I was going to say something. I want the mentorship. How do I get in on it? Peter, if you go to the description, there's a link to sign up for the mentorship, and there's the code is Halloween 20. That'll get you, we need a new code for November. That'll get you 1 free month in the mentorship.
Yeah, we got to change it, but Halloween 20 still works. It's not expired.
Yeah.
We got Todd Landon who donated. Thanks for the donate, man. And he's watching again in his Tesla. He always loves posting those pictures up. I appreciate that, bro. I'll retweet it out for you. But thanks for watching us from your Tesla Model 3. Appreciate that. Howard Stern. Yeah, there's a lot of people bringing in Howard Stern. It's definitely up there.
Yeah.
Definitely up there.
Howard Stern, I think, has also an unfair advantage because he has a sidekick.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan does it all on his own.
Right.
And I feel like, obviously Jamie is there production wise, but like Jamie isn't involved as like his co-host or anything like that.
Yeah.
So
yeah. The Hot Ones
Stern.
Interviewer. What's his name?
What's that?
The guy who interviews on Hot Ones. What's his name?
He's a good one too. I don't know his name, but
he is a good one, but he's not Joe Rogan good. Geraldo.
Joe Rogan will call people out.
Hell yeah, Geraldo. Oh yeah, fuck yeah. Oh, and then don't forget about all the '90s ones, the good '90s ones, right? There's Geraldo. Anybody remember
Arsenio Hall?
Yeah, Ricky Lake. She was a good one. Who was the? Oh, Phil Donahue. Don't forget about him. Who was the other one that had the red glasses?
Montel Williams.
Oh yeah, Montel. That was a good one. Sean Evans. Oh, that's the Hot Ones guy. Sean Evans. Who was the Sally Jesse Raphael? Boom. Blast from the past. That's how old we are, folks. You just guessed our age.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. Guys, that's going to do it for us. Listen, we're going to go ahead and cut out now. We appreciate you hanging out. Over 500 folks hanging out with us and just kind of shooting the shit for the last half hour of it. You guys are incredible. We appreciate you. And we can't thank you enough. We're going to see you tomorrow, too. We're going to go live and just kind of give our reaction to, what unfolded. Do we know who's going to be president or don't we? And how is the market reacting? So we will be back tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern time. It's starting to become a regular thing on Wednesdays. I don't know what it's going to evolve into, but it might just become a thing. But tomorrow, Wednesday at 2 p.m., we will be here and we'll give our live reaction and kind of let you guys know what we think we should do as far as our investing is concerned in the stock market. And yes, Jerry Springer, how could I forget, is the best interviewer of all time. Guys, thanks so much for hanging out. We appreciate you. And Fat Man Zoom, you got anything else?
You are not the father. Maury Povich.
Guys, make sure you're hitting the join button if you want to become part of the Chaos Crew and get daily watch lists from us. Help support the channel, become part of the crew, and get us a like on your way out. Have a great night. Please go vote if you haven't done so already. We'll see you tomorrow.